Gangs are a huge problem in our area. I think for too long, politicians were not really wanting to say this nice southern city in Atlanta had a gang problem, but the reality is we are a major metropolitan city, and there are certainly factors that are caused by gangs.
So what we're seeing is, again, this is an issue, and it's not just an Atlanta issue. People think that it just can be an urban area. Well, the Georgia gang investigators in 2018 put out a survey, and 157 out of Georgia's 159 counties said that they were seeing gang activity. And gangs cross city and county lines. They don't care what the city line is or the county line is. So this is an issue. It's important for the state to come in and address the issue of violent crime. And again, I think the governor, the legislature, our office have made it a priority to go after it to keep Georgians safe.
Please, I urge you, do not let this become a justification for hard-edged, massive incarceration.
Same way you have them talking about arresting all the gang members, coming after the leaders and so forth, and they targeting and coming after people that's not doing nothing illegal. Now, at the same time, do you think that them youngsters is just gonna sit back and say, hey man, they coming in, man, I'm just gonna let them take me? No, you know, like I say, they opening up a door.
When gang members, former gang members, incarcerated person and former incarcerated person saw that the governor, state police, and other law enforcement, and the DAs were going to ratchet up and do this hard-edged mass arrest and mass incarceration, they began to consider that that would not be in the best interest of the community. So they reached out to me.
I do speak for the people that within 100 counties in Georgia, specifically Cordele. Okay, so when you're dealing with a circuit, like Cordele had 4 counties in one circuit, one judge, one DA, one incompetent public defenders defend us as black men and women that are going inside of that courtroom. Now, what I want to get to right here is that I want to get the people to understand how government works.
And the conversation began to deal with if law enforcement was going to come at gang members, they weren't just going to sit back and take it. There was going to be retaliation and bloodshed, and that is now what is happening. And so we forewarned them of that as the Cultural Tribes Peace Network. And now we're here in the middle of this conflict, and we can do better than this.
It's past disappointment because she, and now Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis, she continued to show, and Atlanta officials continue to show that my son's life don't matter to them. I mean, what else? I mean, here this man, Sean Kim, murdered my son in cold blood. 4 officers in a room had my son surrounded with pistols and one shot. This officer lied. He violated my son's human and civil rights. He refused to call SWAT when my son was barricaded. He violated every type FBI policy. He violated Atlanta Police Department policy. He didn't wear a body cam. So it frustrates me because it just let me know that Fannie Willis is more about trying to get the glory and trying to keep the spotlight on herself than do the right thing.
This indictment, it was revealed that back in 2015, Young Thug, whose legal name is Jeffrey Williams, engaged in a conversation with another individual identified as Kyle Ory, who is the leader of the blood affiliate criminal street gang known as Sex Money Murder. Now, the conversation between the two stated, sacrifices must be made, soldiers must fall in order for battle to be won.
Of taking the words of our culture that we put in songs and using that to indict us is prolific violence against us in our own culture, in our own language. When the white brother Bob Dylan came out with a song called I Shot the Sheriff, nobody indicted him and accused him of causing violence. When Johnny Cash came out with a song called I Shot a Man in Reno Just to Watch Him Die, nobody was waiting for him when he came out of the studio to arrest him and indict him and others. But you let black cultural artists who communicate the exact same thing and get paid for it like other cultures do, and then you want to violate the First Amendment of free speech and use that as evidence for a judicial indictment, that is morally wrong.
Well, it seems the authorities have been keeping a tab on Young Thug for a while without him being aware of it. Somehow, the authorities have found a way to tap into his phone and gain access to his conversations with some individuals. Yeah, you heard that right. The feds have been secretly listening to his conversation, and it's been going on for a while. And when I say a while, I'm talking about like 7 years ago or even more.
It is against the Constitution, and our Declaration of Peace says the following: enough is enough. We want the integrity of justice and not the politics of prosecution.